appease or make Justin Fields happy. Justin Fields, the only bargaining chip we might have is, bruh, you only did it for 1 year with us, and every time before then,
Yeah.
you have been, don't nobody really know what you're going to be on an NFL team.
Yeah.
And just to add insult to injury, or injury to insult, I'm seeing a lot of reports of Justin Fields not even looking good in training camp right now.
Okay.
Just to build an agenda, in case I need it later on, he's not even looking good in camp right now. I don't want to. We got enough issues, right? I think we got a team around us where we could win a Super Bowl if we have a competent quarterback. We don't need a all-star quarterback. We need a competent quarterback.
Sure.
Just the guy who can make the throws when they need to be made. We don't need you to win the game for us. We don't need you to lose the game for us. That type of thing. So for me, I'm with 100%. In a greedy cap way, because I want my team to stay good. You kind of hoping for Russell Wilson to be the guy who shows out and is a good quarterback, and all those things, because then and it looks that way, like he's the number one guy right now in training camp. He's like, their reports are saying by miles he's the number one right now. But you kind of want that to happen, because even when we got to pay him, we can give him a Geno Smith deal. We don't have to give him a Trevor Lawrence deal. You know what I'm saying? Because he's older, all those things.
Nope, so, I get that.
So cap wise, you're kind of hoping for that. But if in your scenario, you got to pay him somewhere close to $50 million, you have to.
Right.
If he did that, you have to pay him somewhere close or let him walk. And let's be clear. You let him walk, you better win the Super Bowl the next year without him, because somebody got to get fired. And I mean Omar Khan. Like, that's the type of mistake.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So right. if somebody out there says we gonna pay Justin Fields $58 million a year, if you Pittsburgh, you're gonna have to find a way to like beat that somehow.
Yeah.
Especially if he balls out and he takes you as far as at minimum title game.
But what I believe would happen, and obviously we speculating and projecting.
Yep.
What I believe would happen is that we would lose a lot of the pieces that got us there. Meaning defensive wise, we would lose a lot of that. Like, not you can kiss Najee Harris goodbye if Justin Fields gets us to the AFC Championship, because he's due for
basically
money.
The guys that would be up for contract.
Yeah. Like Pat Freiermuth is gone. Like that type of thing. Cameron Hayward is gone. You know what I'm saying? If you have to pay, so as much as I want Justin Fields to be good and be our future, I don't. If he is our future, he better ball and get us in Baltimore territory where we compete for Super Bowl. That's what better happen.
Right.
Because pieces are going to be gone to pay him that way.
Yeah. Facts.
But I don't think it's going to happen, though. I don't think it's going to happen.
You think Russ is the guy?
I think Russ right now. I think Russ is the guy. I think that I think they are going to make an attempt, in my opinion, to kind of downgrade Justin Fields' value. Especially if you don't beat Russell Wilson out. If you don't beat Russell Wilson out and you sitting there watching Russell Wilson play, we'll bring you back, but you got to come back on backup money. Now, or I'll even do them better, inflated backup money. So you know what I'm saying. So like, you'll be the highest paid backup, and that's cool,
right?
And that's cool. Right. But we know Justin Fields want to start. We know he want to play.
Yeah, he gonna have to. Like, he ain't got no choice. Like, this is his last. Like,
no, I mean in the future. Like, even if he doesn't play a snap, meaningful snap next year, and we keep him, we're gonna have to pay him top billing as a backup.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So So I think I like the scenario of paying Justin Fields as a overpaid backup, not overpaid, but pay him as the best backup in the league, and let Russell Wilson kind of fade himself out in the next 2 years. Then bring Justin Fields up on backup money, give him an opportunity to prove himself as a starter after Russell Wilson's gone. That is my picture perfect scenario.
Yeah, shout out my guy Sean Sims, Facebook live chat. Shout out to the homie Jungle Brother YouTube live chat. Appreciate you.
And just to what up, and just to respond, we still don't have like. Tell me about the passing game Justin Fields had last year. He had that game against Washington where he threw 4 touchdowns, but clearly it was all those 4 touchdowns were bombs. Credit for throwing the bombs, but we still
and
I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. Let me just keep it real. I still don't know if Justin Fields can throw the ball in the NFL. I don't know. I'm not saying he can't. I'm not saying he can't. I'm saying I don't know. I haven't seen nothing in Chicago that makes me feel like, oh, that dude definitely could throw the ball on a professional level.
And see, that's the thing for me is that if you're a quarterback being drafted by Chicago, that's really not necessarily the best place for quarterbacks in Chicago. So, and again, there's a history of that. So I would, if you're asking me, I would give Justin Fields more of the benefit of the doubt than I would give the Chicago Bears as an organization.
So you're saying,
and I've seen Justin Fields throw the football in college, and I get it's different
when you do that.
And no, but I'm talking about the ability. I'm talking about throwing. I'm talking about throwing ability. Throwing ability. We've seen that in college.
Sure.
He ran a
pro-style offense.
But he ran that at Ohio State. Yeah.
Okay. I gotta cut you because I hate when you had this conversation. I hate when we have to have this conversation. Yes, but reading defenses in college is way different from reading defenses in the NFL. It just is.
Agree.
Because even though Ohio State runs a pro style offense, there are still defensive players on the other side of the field, on the other side of the line of scrimmage that don't compute defensive shit the way a pro does.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they might be trying to stop you from throwing the ball. So yes, in the offense, can he say, such and such, can he run the offense? Yes, but he still has to be able to make decisions within the offense that are not dumbass college mistakes. I don't know. I haven't seen enough in Chicago that says to me he's going to be capable to do that in Pittsburgh, where we got to pay him $58 million, $59 million, $60 million.
Right.
Lose Cam Hayward, lose Najee Harris, lose Pat Freiermuth, those types of things. And then he's just going to take us and he's just going to keep us on upward trajectory. I don't know that that's the quarterback we have yet. I don't know.
I understand that feeling.
Yeah.
I'll say this though, and again, the Bears, they have a bad history with quarterbacks. I think I would be interested to see how he looks in Pittsburgh with a better supporting cast. Defense, offensive weapons,
coaching, everything.
Yes. That for me would be the intrigue with Justin Fields. I would give him the benefit of the doubt more than I would give the Bears as an organization that has a bad history of, picking quarterbacks and trying to make quarterbacks, do something different than what their strengths are. If that makes sense.
Agree. But he still has to beat Russell Wilson. And if he can't beat Russell Wilson, what are we talking about?
Gotcha. Got it. Yeah. Let's bring in the homie now here. H-Rap was good, man.
It's good. It's good to see you guys.
All right. What's going on, man? H-Rap beat, folks.
H-Rap, let me tell you, man. My man's I put you on to, man. He hit me back after y'all did y'all show, and I went looking for it and I couldn't find it. And I didn't mean to tell you about it. I couldn't find it, but I'm gonna hit you back. So I'm gonna go back and look at it. Okay. He was like, man, good looks on that, man. That was a good conversation. I needed that. Now DM him and tell him that we need to get that project out because it's done. He got it. We need to get it out.
It's out there. I mean, I just go through the what you do is you go to YouTube and go to live, and they're all there.
Okay.
Yours is there, his is there, everybody's there. I have been doing some personal, some community stuff in Chicago. That's why I haven't been on air in 6 weeks for that program. I've been doing my Build and Destroy program, but that is on there. Trust me.
For
I'll
sure.
send it to you after I get off here. I'll send it directly to you, and then you can check it out.
My God, because I did go looking for it, but yeah, he definitely, we got the project done. I'm just waiting for him, man. Like, go put this thing out.
Y'all come back.
Yes,
Get
sir.
it cracking, man.
Yes, sir.
Maestro's in demand, man. Whatever that is, and I don't know what y'all talking about, but
he did an interview with an artist that I was working with. He, me and him talked, and he was like, anybody you know, and I was like, well, I know, I knew I had a studio, I had a session with my man's that sometime recent to that, and I was like, well, he was like, yeah, he I don't know, he did the dude, my man, shout out Joseph, that's my man's. He was just like, I'm trying to get on a podcast, I'm trying to talk, and I was like, for real? I was like, yeah, it's like I know somebody right now, I just got finished. Good, my good man, H-Rap. Yeah, my good man. So, you know what I'm saying? So I linked them up, and they did it, and they did the show. But I like I said, I couldn't find it. So yeah, but shout out to my man Juice of the Bounce Back EP is coming sometime soon.
Man, y'all welcome to come back, man. Anytime, man. Just give me 7 days, and then it's on.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up. H-Rap. So I think this is the first, and you've been a supporter from day one. Ever since we met online and stuff. You've been a supporter. We met online. I think 6 years ago. Yep. I think you called, like, when we were doing phone calls back then. I think you was one of our callers and stuff like that. So this is kind of your first time where folks get to see you from a visual standpoint on this show. Indeed. So End of the Bench Media, that's your platform. Also the Forecast, which you do with BS3 and my other guy. Shout out to those guys as well. Yep. Yes, sir. What's been going on with you, man? Like,
just grinding it out. I do this, do a program called Build and Destroy. I do shorts called Hold My Beer Sports, where I offer the world my point of view on stories that are happening in sports today. I offer the point of view today in regards to the whole Caitlin Clark thing and the minimizing. We're gonna talk about that later. The minimizing of what's the kid name in Jacksonville? Trevor Lawrence. I think it's a bigger idea behind that, and I don't like it, and I just offering things in the whole Caitlin Clark thing. Whereas Caitlin Clark isn't supporting it, she's being awful silent, and silent equals acquiescence. And if you are not going to speak out against this, it's not, look, it's competition, then you're buying into it, and it gives the onset of what people will call white privilege. And she has to speak up because they are a fraternity. They are a fraternity. And if you want to be accepted into the fraternity and you want people to embrace you, you're going to have to step up for your sisters and battle. So,
okay. Let's pontificate, if you will. So, you feel like Caitlin Clark needs to say what exactly?
Caitlin Clark needs to step up and say, hey, this is competition. I'm a trash talker. I'm one of the biggest trash talkers in the league. I got a game. My game is developing. Y'all need to stand down. See, that eliminates this. It empowers her fan base. She going to look tough. Like, hey, I don't need no pity. Let's do it. And then it will ingratiate her to her co-workers, so to speak. Her national co-workers, not just the Indiana team. It would ingratiate her to the league. It might get you one less elbow a night because you have locked arms with your sisters. But instead, she's playing the low key. She's playing back. It ain't, when they press her, she'll speak. But you have to come out because
tone.
People, you got.
It's the tone. Yeah.
So you feel like, in turn, and I'm asking for clarity. You feel like she's embracing the pity party per se.
Yeah, she is. She is somewhat embracing it because if put like this, I'm on your show. That means we have a brotherhood, right? We hooked up, like I said, 6 years ago. That means you support me, I support you. I've seen y'all in my show. You've appeared on my show. So that means we have a kinship. We're doing this podcast thing, right? And if I hear somebody say, man, Train a Maestro and them whack, and I just go, man, forget that dude. I know they don't. If I don't speak up and say, nah, dog, you don't have to like it, but they're not whack. Then I have co-signed, because then you know what they can do? Hey, man, I said Train Maestro was whack, and H-Rap didn't say nothing. And then was you there?
Okay, I understand your sentiment. I do understand your sentiment, but I think we're, and I'm trying to bring it back to Caitlin Clark, because if somebody said to me, H-Rap, H-Rap was in a conversation with some other people where they was shitting on the Barbershop Sports Talk podcast, and and H-Rap didn't, go, 10 toes down type. Well, I think for me, my first question would be, well, what did he say? You know what I'm saying?
Nothing.
Yeah. Well,
she's saying nothing.
I do think that Caitlin Clark, in some capacity, and I don't pretend, let me be clear here. I do not pretend that all of a sudden I'm this super WNBA watcher now. I am not. So let me be clear. What I'll say is that I feel like I've seen her when balls are put to the table. She has said, well, look, this is a physical league.
Mm-hmm.
That she understands that she's being quote unquote hazed as a rookie, not necessarily as Caitlin Clark, the biggest quote unquote superstar in WNBA right now. And I'm saying quote unquote because I understand that she's not the most talented per se. But I don't like it's this weird thing because it's like, well, I'm not going to apologize for.
You don't have to.
Okay.
You don't have to apologize. But again, if I'm going to make an appearance on your show, that means we have a relationship. Now, if I was on whack, then that's something different. But I'm on here as a comrade. So if someone says something bad about your program, and I just go, man, I've co-signed that without saying anything.
Do you think that everybody you've ever had in your show, do you think y'all cool?
Mm-hmm. Well, I say that in the whole my show, because if I don't like you, no matter how, I have had some Chicago celebrities say, "Hey man, what's up?" I'm like, I don't like you, dude. I'm coming out here because I'm gonna ask you that question, and then we're gonna have to see each other.
Right. Okay. So you're of the belief that So my next question is do you believe that everybody like you speak to kinship a lot and relationship a lot, but everybody has a different style of relationship. Do you believe that here's the flat out question. Are there some women hating on Caitlin Clark?
Of course.
In the WNBA? Right.
But see, this is the part you I think we're having two different conversations.
Okay.
The conversation I'm having is this. Okay. If you say Caitlin Clark, it's the WNBA whack, what's she gonna say?
No.
And then she's gonna tell you why it's not whack, correct?
Okay. Right. Mm-hmm.
So when they say your co-workers are whack, you can say, look, it's human nature for some of us to be jealous, but by and large, these are my co-workers. We are working together. We're building this league. We're standing on the shoulders of Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops, Rebecca Lobo, Lisa Leslie. We standing on Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird. We standing on their shoulders. So they lifted me. They have made it to the point where they've lifted me up, and it's gonna be some young Juju's coming, and that crew is coming, and I'm gonna lift them up. That's how you don't have to say, oh man, you know what? Maestro is the greatest co-host in the world. Trey is the greatest co-host. You ain't got to say that. But what I do, I am obligated as a comrade to say, man, Trey and Maestro, they all. What I like about them is that I know that's Trey and Maestro you're listening to. That's not Stephen A. That's not Skip and Shannon. That's not Shady McCoy. That's Trey and Maestro. You don't have to like it. We don't have to like everybody's tape. But I like their authenticity. That's not defending you. That's not big upping you. That's just speaking truth to power. She's not doing that. She's allowing the pity party. Oh, poor little girl. Come on, when they call a flagrant foul, when no girl gave her the hip check, and when they call a flagrant foul on Reese this weekend, a real co-worker is supposed to say, look, y'all going a little overboard now. That was sports. That was not intentional.
No, she did do that with Andrew Reese. Now I will give all
the other things.
Okay, I don't know.
Mark, what's his name? Butt fumble boy. Sanchez. Mark Sanchez. No, Matt Lyon is on Twitter this weekend getting tore up because he's speaking on it. But did you speak up when Angel Reese got flipped over? No,
Right.
you didn't.
Right.
See, that's when you have to. And then the sad part is, her and Angel Reese have a relationship.
Yeah.
They're actually friends.
But that's why
you're supposed to be dead in this. I'm not kumbaya. It's not my goal. But we have a relationship. You're not gonna trash Trey and Maestro.
So here's my opinion on this, A-Trap. So here's my opinion on this, right? So you say Caitlin Clark has somewhat stayed silent whenever being asked about the physicality of the sport, her fan base, if you will. So I'll say this because I've paid attention to a lot of the WNBA this year. I've actually started watching some games on the weekend. Game was on CBS yesterday. I actually got tickets to a Liberty game this week, going to the game Thursday and all this stuff. So I've actually started to pay a lot more attention. I've actually followed some women that actually cover the WNBA, and they've actually had Twitter spaces to discuss basketball and stuff instead of like the off the court crap. So Caitlin has come out and said, hey, you know, it's physical game out there. I just let it rock. It's cool, no problem at all. I think what you have a problem with is that her tone and the way she says it isn't like she's not bringing the hammer home enough for you. Like I think that's what it is for you.
But what if that's not her character?
But when you see that's the line that we've been told. This is not my character, so I'm not gonna stand up. If somebody attacked you, do you just let it go, or will she emphatically stand up for us? Put it like this: I ain't never seen the trash talker in the history of the world not be able to speak up for themselves, because trash talking is get out of my face. This whole thing and all that. This girl, she wolfing. That's your character. Be yourself. Be yourself. It's cool. But if you're not, see, I ain't trying to humbly brag. Watching basketball for 40 years. I was watching Reggie. Hey, put like this. I've been watching women's basketball long enough to know Reggie Miller is Cheryl's brother. I knew who Cynthia Cooper was when she hit Houston Comet. I knew who she was. I know Cynthia. Put like this. This is how much I've been watching women's basketball. Cynthia Cooper was born in Chicago. She was raised in LA. She was born in Chicago. That's how long I've been on this. So look, man, Diana Taurasi to me would tear Caitlin up.
We agree.
So and Diana Taurasi, it's too many people stepping up when she's being coveted. She's being covered.
She is being coveted.
No question. Do that. Step up. If we have a brotherhood, I don't have to like you to be like, look, stall him out. No, stall him out. This is how we get down, and let's get it popping. And then if you really who you say you are, you're going to get the popping on people, and then your game must speak up.
I think what Trey is saying, though, is that she has said that she just hasn't said it in a demonstrative tone.
But if you can't politely speak up for anything,
That's
you can't say, well, kind of, it's Trey good. Man, then what does that mean? I'm just saying it because that's what I'm supposed to say. If you are defending the league, your job is to defend and promote the league. When you are allowing these baby taps and you're doing the Brady, because I call it the Tom Brady. Anytime you appeal to the refs, you Brady. When you Brady in, I don't want to hear that, man, because now you playing into this nonsense.
Okay. Yeah. I don't all the way disagree with you. I don't always disagree. What's the fact is that she's being coveted, and she's being coveted because she plays the style of basketball that people like to watch be played, meaning running around, shooting threes everywhere, a little crossover. Like that's what they
Do you think it's that? Do you think it's that, or do you think it's because she's a white girl? Or is it because she's a white girl?
Well, you cut me off.
From Middle America.
I was getting ready to say white girl. I was getting ready to say white girl.
Okay.
But she's a white girl that plays the style of basketball that has been the popular style of basketball for some time since Steph Curry came.
Because there's women in the league that play that similar style that Caitlin does. So that's why I'm. So that's why
I will say this. And it may be in ignorance. I am totally copping the plea that I do not, and I repeat, do not watch a whole rack of WNBA women's basketball at all. I don't watch a whole lot of it. I understand that there are people who play that style of basketball. How many people have done it to the level that Caitlin Clark did it in Iowa? I'm asking.
It's only one other sister in Division II who she's yet to break her record, but they never mentioned that sister from an HBCU, and she played it. See, the thing is, we keep saying that style of play. This is women's basketball. Women's basketball is fundamentally sound. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna play below the rim basketball. I'm gonna play Isaiah Thomas basketball. I'm gonna play John Stockton basketball. I'm gonna play anybody who use guile and ability versus athleticism. That's what women's basketball is. That's why it's a fundamentally sound game that I appreciate, because I'm tired of this. I don't even. If I say what I was about to say, it'll take us way off.
This is no. Let's go. We got a little bit of time to go there because
the men's game is a bunch of clowns running and jumping. And if you ask me, within the next 3 to 5 years, the American black man will be about 35 to 40% in the league, because they are filtering that man out, because they've tricked us into believing that Steph Curry is the prototype. You cannot make the most exceptional person at one thing the prototype. You cannot look at it this way. When I came up, I'm 53. I'll be 54 in about a month, about 6 weeks. Okay. When I came up, Dr. J and David Thompson were the guys, right? And then came along Dominique Wilkins, Clark Kellogg, and Michael Jordan. Clark Kellogg blew out his knee. You never got a chance to experience the Clark Kellogg situation. Dominique and Mike, and what did Mike and Dominique breed? They bred Grant Hill, they bred Penny Hardaway, they bred Kobe Bryant, they bred
McGrady,
Carter, and so forth and so on. We saw that's what Michael Jordan and bred. You know why? Because you can emulate this, but nobody has only Vince Carter had the athleticism that Mike has, right? Now, then you move along and you're gonna tell me, then you got the Magic Johnsons being created also with Penny Hardaway and LeBron James. At no point did the greatest shooter in the world be emulated. You keep telling me, you've never seen this before. Right. I have. I've seen it. His name is Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. By the way, he also used to participate in dunk contests. He also was giving it to Mike like you would not believe. But you telling me I never seen this. You also told me I never seen a 6'10" dude who could shoot from anywhere on the court. I'm sorry. I saw Bob McAdoo. I saw Bob McAdoo at 6'10", 6'11", one of the leaders in rebounds, lead the league in scoring, and be MVP. No shade to Kevin Durant, but evolution is the key. And if Steph has changed the game, please somebody explain to me this one thing. If Steph has changed the game, where's the next step? Guess who's dominating the league right now? My man Shea out of Oklahoma City, Luka in Dallas, the Freak, and the big homie Joker. What do? They destroy the mid-range. Guess who used to do that? Michael Jordan, Kobe, Vince Carter, so forth and so on. Mid-range will always be the thing. But we're not being told that we're being sold to build a good.
Exactly. And you going right where I'm going. Why did they uplift Steph Curry?
Because they want to make it a global game. It's only one other league. Do y'all know it's only one other big-time basketball league on earth? And that's in Africa. And it's paid for by the NBA. They want to. It's the greatest pimp job in the history of the world. And like I said, they are filtering out the American black. Understand, man. 3 to 5 years from now, NBA is gonna look like MLB. It's gonna be some brown dudes. They're gonna have cornrows. They're gonna be loving hip hop. But they're gonna be from Canada. They're gonna be from Africa, and they're gonna be from Europe.
They might be from the islands.
They might be from the
but let's be clear about what I don't know why, and I still don't feel like we know why. Steph Curry, But what about But if that's not the way we want to see basketball played, then how would that make money?
Because guess what? Because Trey Maestro and H-Rap are thinkers. Most people don't think. How many times have you looked at your chat room and saw what Stephen A said earlier today? Or you saw what Skip said earlier today? Explain to me why, I'm going to show you some little age. When I was 20, 35 years ago, when I was in my 20s, 33 years ago, when I was in my 20s, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got Jim Brown sitting on our City Hall couch, calling out Michael Jordan, calling out Magic Johnson, saying that they weren't good examples of good black men, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they ain't no good. Da, 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 da. You got this young man who steps up, immediately becomes about social issues, immediately steps up for the people. He married to his high school sweetheart. He's a top of the line dad. The last time we heard LeBron James' name in trouble, he was getting a speeding ticket for driving that Hummer too fast. And he's the scum of the earth, because we want to control this. We want to control this narrative. If we have these young fools going out and doing what they're supposed to do, we can no longer control that narrative. Because look, if we had actual good coaches and good mentors, why is it that we're not telling these young men, white, black, or indifferent, white, black, Asian, Latino, why ain't they getting NIL money and saying, look, you don't even have to go pro now.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you going pro? Why did Marvin Harrison Jr. grew up in F1s and turned down $28 million to stay at Ohio State so he can go sign a $32 million contract? You have to be 30% retired to take that deal.
Right.
He took a pay cut to go to the league.
Right.
That's non-thinking, because you've been programmed into this.
So here's what I would say. Here's what I would say, because I know we can't stay here long, Trey. I know your moderation face when I see it. Here's what I'll say. We, for whatever Steph did, and the NBA highlighted and magnified, whatever they did, we took to it. And I mean we as the thinkers, the non-thinkers, and everybody in between. And let's be clear, we all agree that the majority of this world are non-thinkers, are sheep, more than they're thinkers. And so we all agree there. So so once a narrative is magnified, the narrative being that we like crossovers, jumpers, and celebrations afterwards. Once that's magnified as and touted as the new trend of how basketball should be played, then the next job, once we establish that, the next thing to do is to find the next person who does it the best and then magnify that person, irregardless of whether they're the best or worst basketball player or not. We all know that Steph Curry is not the best basketball player in the league. We magnified that because it was different and he did it consistently enough to get people excited. And excitement brings viewership, and viewership brings money. So Caitlin Clark was the closest in the women's league to what we wanted to magnify of how basketball should be played. And that's why she is where she is today. Maestro can't be mad for her acknowledging that, seeing that, acknowledging it, identifying it, and then becoming that to the point where she's getting to where she is today. What I agree with you is where I agree with you, even though I don't think she's going to do it no time soon, because she got enough problems game to game, just learning the game, the professional game. I don't think no time soon she's going to make no stand-up speech saying, hey, y'all, this is basketball. They are doing what they're supposed to do to try to stop me from being great because this is a competitive league. I don't think no magical speech is coming, no historical speech is coming, because she got enough problems trying to figure out how to play a professional basketball game.
I have a haiku in response, and then I'm going to let Trey take over his show.
Yeah.
Bird would have.
I don't know that. I just don't know that. Yeah, Bird, I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know that either.
No. Anytime you could come out your mouth, walk up to a coach or walk up to other players in the league and say, man, you wrong. Y'all got a white boy on me. I'm disrespecting. That means that dude ain't taking no smoke. When they tried to destroy Isaiah Thomas's reputation and career, Larry Joe Bird stood up at the podium and said, y'all tripping. I don't even know why we here. See, because it's a union. We pay union dues. We are growing this thing together. I might be the coldest cat in the world, but this is the US Foundation. And if you don't handle it that way, other people are not going to benefit. That's all I'm saying. I don't need her to wear a Juneteenth t-shirt and say, man, he says, no. No, this basketball. Y'all need to give me some go ahead on, and then it's over. But if you gonna millie mouth it, you know, it is what it is, then you are supporting it.
Okay.
You know,
I think there's a bigger issue at play, and not that what we just talked about isn't an issue, because I do think it is. And I kind of agree with you, H Rap, in that maybe her tone can be a bit more like y'all got to stop with the whole, narrative about me and all this stuff. But I think the bigger issue for me is that when I watch a play that Angel Reese tried to make in yesterday's game, straight basketball play, flagrant one, right call, ref made the right call, no harm, no foul. Okay, cool. But I don't like the way and look, media's done this for so many years, and they continue to do so when they're a part of the problem with the whole, Caitlin Clark hype, is that they put these headlines out there, they put these images out there as if, these two athletes are really, really beefing, with one another, when they're really, like you said, they're really friends off the court. They're just competitors. Let's just keep it at them being competitors instead of enemies, right? So, Matt Leinart comes out and has something to say. When the last time he had something to say about women's basketball? Danny Cannell comes out. It seems like it's the white mediocre quarterbacks that have coming out and voicing their opinions on women's basketball. When
you say mediocre, I say trash.
Okay, better word. It seems like those are the guys that got something to say when we haven't heard from them, for a while. You understand? It seems like guys are talking about this league that haven't watched the league. It seems like also most of, I don't want to say all of, but I would say a chunk of the Caitlin Clark fans are being introduced to this league and only care about Caitlin Clark more than they care about the actual game of basketball. Because if they did care about her and more so the game, then look, we would be talking about how Asia Wilson is the lead leader for, league MVP. We would be talking about right. Double doubles for like 9-10 straight games, and balling out, right? We will be talking about Nafisia Collier with the Minnesota Lynx, tearing it up. We'd be talking about the Connecticut Sun, having one of the best records in the league, the Liberty, on top of the standings. We'll be talking about all these other players.
$300 off DraftKings betting on them.
we would be talking about all these other great players that have paved the way for this rookie class. And I don't want to single out Caitlin Clark. I mean, this is a rookie class. Angel Reese, I like Angel Reese. Cameron Brink with the Sparks. Rashia Jackson with the Sparks. I love this class of players. And
trying to figure out where Shorty from Syracuse got cut from the did she come on to Chicago?
But to my point though, like there's bigger issues, and the whole marketing of the WNBA, that's a totally separate conversation. Because
how can you say that? How can you say that marketing is a different conversation?
Because yesterday, Sky versus Fever. A 12 o'clock game on a Sunday afternoon, when most eyeballs are going to be on this game. Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark, 12 o'clock. That can't be a late Sunday afternoon game. That can't be a night game.
No, perfect. Because see again. I mean, I hate to keep throwing this up. I'm older than you guys. I want you to guys remember this. Let's go back. I don't even got to go back to my childhood. Let's go back to the 90s when we used to watch Jordan. Jordan used to come on at noon.
Right. That's what I was about to say.
It's the NBA. But that's the NBA.
You train your audience the same way. You train them the same way. Look, at 6 p.m. tomorrow or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Building Detroit will be on. It has been on for 8 straight years at that time, every Tuesday.
Yeah, I can't.
Which is
respectfully, H-Rap, I have to disagree. The NBA and the WNBA, they're two different leagues. Two different sets of finances. I think once you're the WNBA and you establish yourself to where you want to be at, then yeah, you can put Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese 12 o'clock Sunday afternoon.
Well, here's the thing, Trey.
Go ahead.
And I'm sorry to cut you off, but here's the
Go ahead.
thing. It's not like the WNBA. And look, I'm not super abreast of how these things work. I don't know that the WNBA can just say, put my game on at ABC at 8 o'clock tonight.
They've been doing that this entire season. They've come out with a schedule, and it seems like every week there's this game just got put to a national audience. Well, this game should have been put to a national audience from when the schedule got released.
But if ABC says we want to show, mad killer President Housewives at 8 o'clock, and that's going to get more views than Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, I don't know, and we're all speculating. I don't know exactly how that works, but I would imagine, to H-Rap's point, when Michael Jordan played at 12 noon, or when NBA was on NBC and it came on at 12, and hell, they still do the ABC. It's still the marquee games are played on
1 o'clock
Sunday.
and 3:30. Yes, I get that. I get
that.
So that's what sports fans are mentally.
Exactly. Sports fans think to watch sports outside of the NFL and those outlying things. Those outlying. There obviously there are some anomalies and some things that, NFL is the NFL. They're gonna get as much airtime as they want. They're
stealing airtime.
But they have the leverage for it. They have the leverage for it. The WNBA doesn't have the leverage, and I would even reckon to believe that in them days the NBA might have not. I don't remember what came on at 8 o'clock on NBC on a Sunday. I don't remember. I was.
On Sunday, 8 o'clock, it was some type of drama
on NBC.
It was a drama that had high ratings. Is my point. Right, it was a drama that had high ratings.
Stuff, Joe.
Sports
fans, I've been programmed my whole life at noon. Sports will be on NBC, CBS, or ABC for my whole life. So I'm not changing that.
Right, but and I said earlier, at best, if that game could have came on, late Sunday afternoon, I'm not just holding it to like a primetime slot. I'm saying at best, if that game came on 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, you get more viewers in that slot than you would a Sunday afternoon game.
Are you sure
about I would say, Trey, is promoted better.
I like that idea better.
You said what? Promoted.
The WNBA sucks at promoting. They suck at promoting.
Agree.
It might be a money, and it might be a money thing. So I
agree.
You gotta get away from that money thing, because let's not forget, it's a league that's funding the WNBA. They print money too. And see, we got this mentality of small market, large market, left market, right market, this market, that market. Remember, I just told y'all I got this DraftKings app on my phone. Every time I place a bet, the NBA, WNBA, MLB, they get a cut.
Sure, but
they get some money. So
didn't they reportedly lose $50 million? And they reportedly lose $50 million this year. The WNBA.
I don't know if that report's true. I don't know if that report's true.
I saw a report that they are up 300% viewership. So if you are 300% and you lose $50 million, what did you spend?
That's what I'm saying.
That's live. I just placed some bets.
The person that tweeted that, and I saw that, Maestro. I don't know that. I don't know that. That's.
I don't know either. But that's why I say reportedly. But yeah. Okay. Look, what I'll say is I don't know. And again, to your point, H-Rap, I don't know if it's money or not. I know that when the finals, when I cut on my Fire Stick right now, if I went over there and cut it on, you're gonna see at some point within the next 30 seconds, NBA Finals is on at 8:30.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? When Sunday Night Football comes on, when I cut my TV on, my Fire Stick on, within 30 seconds, Chiefs versus Eagles Sunday night in NBC. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah, you'll see that earlier in the week. You'll see those kind of ads.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So for the WNBA to be up in viewership 300%, I'm not saying shouldn't I see it? If not the next 30, and if not the first 30 seconds, shouldn't I see it in the next 60 seconds at least? Some type of advertisement. Yeah, some type of advertisement of some type of a WNBA game. Like, I promise you, and again, I find value in the position I am with the WNBA as opposed to y'all, because my experience with the WNBA is sheerly through the people I follow on Twitter.
Thank you. So Maestro needs to be inundated with notifications so you can get Maestro to watch. Trey, me and you, we watch. Mm-hmm. They need to be getting Maestro.
Right. And
women, but that's a whole
and like and that's what I said to you a couple of weeks ago, Trey. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like all of a sudden, because I'm excited about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and Rickea Jackson, all of a sudden I'm this big WNBA fan. I remember me and you had a conversation years ago, and I was like, oh shit, Sue Bird, really nice. Mm-hmm. In her last 2 years, I had just found out how nice Sue Bird was. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So and sat here and actually watched her it was a playoff run against the Phoenix, against the Mercury. And I was like, damn, like Sue Bird is actually nice. So and I came on the podcast the next week and was like, Sue Bird, my favorite WNBA player. Like, that's how impressed I was.
Yeah. And see, Trey, that's what I'm saying. If Caitlin spoke up, like if she spoke up, she would get Maestro on her side.
Well, I'm already a Caitlin Clark fan.
No.
I was gonna say.
The world.
Yeah.
The casuals. Yeah.
Black folks would be like, see, she down. And then they would migrate to her, which would make the game blow up even more. She owed it to those ladies. She owes it. Mm-hmm. I ain't saying I don't want her to be Caitlin Luther King.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
They sister of the struggle.
Yeah. Let me because ABM, shout out to my homie Doc Bell, ABM Facebook live chat, because he made a comment about so Jim Trotter, shout out to Jim Trotter too, because he covered one of Caitlin's games last week, and he had asked her a question in regards to her name being used for, racism against the black women in the WNBA and stuff. And I don't think, and this is no slight to Jim Trotter. He asked some of the best questions, but I think his question, if I remember correctly, it was it wasn't as detailed as it was when she was asked the second time by somebody else, and I forget who that somebody else was that was on Twitter that actually posted his question to her in a more detailed, like he brought up racism, he brought up those kind of things, and then Caitlin did address that, and I think that's what most folks was kind of looking for her to say, like to really address it, hands on. Caitlin might be the type where, and I think you could tell, like, she's PR trained, like the way she answers the questions and stuff like that. She is trained, like a PR person trained her on how to answer questions and stuff like that, right? So if you ask her something in detail, she gonna give you an answer in detail. When you ask her a question that's a very generic question, she gonna answer it in a very generic way. So there's that for me. Like I just think we just need to get to a place where everybody can enjoy women's basketball instead of the off the floor stuff. The headlines I think need to be a lot better, but I get that. That's just generating dollars. That's just generating clicks and things like that. Yeah, clickbait. Right. I get that.
In a world where we know clickbait runs shit right now. So I'm not saying you wrong, H-Rap, in the sense of at some point somebody's going to have to bring some sense of morality and culture back to basketball. I'm not disagreeing with you. What I think what I'll say is Caitlin Clark is new to this. She don't really know what the fuck is going on. I like what Doc Bell said. It basically, like, she was oblivious to the question. She just might be oblivious to this shit. And if that's teaching, maybe then cool. Let the lessons begin. And I hope she learns it. But at this stage of the game, this motherfucker can barely get across the field across the half court line without getting knocked down. I don't think she thinking about how to be the like you said, Caitlin X of the WNBA, right? Yeah, right. So I'll say give her some time. That's what I'll say. Give her some time.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
And pretty much, man, that's why we having these conversations. So 3 people can have we snowflakes, man. We can have 3 different points of view, and we don't have to hate each other and get into the name calling and disrespecting. That's what it's about. That's what the whole podcast universe should be about, and that's why you guys do a classy show. We don't have to ever agree.
Facts.
We must respect, though.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Let's talk about the finals, man. Let's talk about how you feeling about the finals so far. Hopefully we don't go down a rabbit hole this time, but if we do, fuck it, because you're my man.
I'm loving the finals. The finals is showing me that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have grown as hoopers. They used to be, they got caught up in the Steph Curry, we need to shoot 10 million three thing, and that's why
they still shooting 10 million threes.
I was going to say, they still shooting like crazy.
But guess why? Look, they are shooting, most of the Celtics are shooting a lot of threes, but the finals MVP is killing them in the mid-range. It's a beautiful mix of this and that, and they didn't have that mix. They tried to shoot with shooters. You tried, it's like being in a dunk contest with Michael Jordan. You're gonna lose. Ask Dominique Wilkins if you don't believe me. You're gonna lose. No matter what you do, you're gonna lose in the dunk contest with Michael Jordan on the stage, especially if you do it in 1988 in Chicago. He lead MVP. But they are playing basketball. And let me say this before I go any further. I am a gigantic Steph Curry fan. I miss Steph Curry at Davidson. One of my homeboys was at Davidson when he was there. So I'm a gigantic. But this Golden State Warriors were not this big time team that everybody thought they was. Y'all dummies were trying to shoot with shooters, and y'all lost every year. So but it seems as if Jaylen Brown has added that mid-range attack to these shooting Celtics, and that's why they are beating this man. I'm going to diss one of my favorite players in the history of the game. Jason Kidd is doing a poor job of adjusting.
He's definitely being outcoached.
He's being outcoached, but hey, you live, you learn. Ask somebody to your staff, kid, and then you'll be a lot better. But like when he called that timeout and just burned a 20-6 run, like call a timeout. You call a timeout. But but I'm enjoying it.
So I want to give ABM his flowers, because me and him had a disagreement last week about the Mavericks. And after watching those first 2 games, I said to myself, you know what? There has to be a Tim Hardaway Jr. appearance at some point in the series. Now, for folks that don't know, Tim Hardaway Jr. has not gotten a lot of playing time in these playoffs, period.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know what that's about. I don't know. I don't know what that's about.
We found out game 3.
So
or was it game 4? Yeah.
Game 4. Game 4. Game 3. Game 3. Game 3. They Jason Kidd decided, put him out there. Let's give him some minutes. I think he played about 19 minutes.
19 minutes and didn't score a damn thing.
And I was like, damn, man, ABM was right. Like, you put him on the floor with Luka and Kyrie, that's 3 guys that you could just run spin cycles around. Like, you're not going to be able to get defense out of 3 of those guys. So, and that's exactly what happened in that game when Boston made that run, was all while Tim Hardaway Jr. was on the floor.
And Tim Hardaway Jr. is a rhythm player. You cannot sit me down.
Exactly.
Nah. Even though you should be ready when they call you, that's why they pay you the money they pay you.
Yeah, but you got.
So here was my reason. So here was my reason that I said that we needed to see him.
And by the way, Trey, I didn't disagree with your point. I felt like they needed to try something. So yes. I agree with your point.
Yes, Boston. I mean, especially in game 1, the 3-point shooting was crazy in game 1.
Yeah,
it was okay in game 2, and I'm like, Dallas gonna need something to combat that. Like if they just throwing up threes like that and they knocking them down, Dallas, you need somebody that could get hot, along with Luka, because Luka could shoot 3, Kyrie could shoot 3. Like, You need that extra dude that can help you get on a barrage of some sort. And I give Jason Kidd credit. He tried an adjustment. It didn't work out.
Yeah, it didn't work out. What do you say to the people who says, because they should have was it game? It was game 3 that they should have won, or a lot of people say they should have won, where Kyrie was cooking and Luka Doncic basically didn't know how to say, "Hey, I ain't got it tonight. Kyrie, I need you to win this for me." What do you say to the people who feel that way?
They would be 100% correct.
Mm-hmm.
See, but then let's see. This is why, you know, I'm like, people always get it conflated when I say this. This is why college is needed. You learn these things playing on it in a structured situation.
Yeah.
This is why it's needed. You need the development. Oh man, he's been playing with the pros his whole life. Yeah, he's been playing with the pros his whole life. But when you've only been the man, everything has been structured around you. AKA my man, LeBron James. It's hard to just step back. Mm-hmm. It's hard to step back and just let it be played. You need, this is why structure is needed. This is why system is needed. So when you run up against a buzzsaw red hot team, you know how you slow down a red hot team? You move the barrel around. You make that team that's jumpers are on fire. You make them use those legs. When you lose those legs, you usually jump this high off the ground. And you jump this off the ground. Now your shot is instead of hitting 8 shots, you're gonna hit 6. When you hit 6, we can win. And that's coaching. This is why system is in play. I don't care how great you are, LeBron. You need to listen to the coach.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan had to listen to Phil. Kobe had to listen to Phil. They had to listen to Pop. Isaiah had to listen to Chuck. Doc and Moses had to listen to Billy Cunningham. You have to have structure in sports to win. This is why LeBron keep going home in the first round.
And he about to get JJ Redick to coach the Lakers.
And with no more structure.
So do you think that's what's happening? Do you think the Jason Kidd approach, which would seem to be, you know, kind of let Luka do his thing because like he know what's going on the floor. You think that's a hindrance to the team?
That's definitely. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. We've been told for the last 8 years that the NFL is a throwing league. But every time a team wins a Super Bowl, what's the team with the best running game? Football is a game of attrition. Whoever gets tired first loses. Basketball, all sports are games of structure. And the person who gets tired first in sports loses. And I don't care what game it is. If it's golf, if it's tennis, if it's hockey, if it's football, baseball, soccer, whoever gets tired first loses. And structure wears you down. Look at Boston. They coming down. They moving the ball around. They popping here, popping there. Jaylen Brown drives to the hole, kick it out here, and they kick it to the corner. Then bam. Now Luka and those guys tired. Now come on down, hit that shot because you tired. You just spent 22 seconds in the shot clock defending me, and now you're gonna come down and shoot a quick 3. I'm still fresh from making you run.
You know damn well Luka ain't doing no defending.
There it is. But that's what I'm saying.
He ain't tired from defending. He letting people go right by him so he can save his energy to shoot. Yeah, he's still averaging 30.
But his teammates, but what's happening with his teammates?
Luka out of shape. That dude need to do something.
I'll say he got three or 4 more years being healthy, and then he's gonna start getting hamstring injuries and back injuries and stuff like that. Because
H-Rap, you peep when they beat Minnesota when they was in the back celebrating. He had the beer in his hand, and Jamal Mashburn came by, was like, "Yo," took the beer right from him, was like, "Yo, what you doing?"
You mean Cross?
There was something to that.
Yeah, because he got 3 years, dog. He got 3 years. He's not gonna be. You cannot be out of shape and be great.
So, do the Boston Celtics close tonight?
It's easy. I mean, my man CJ in the chat room played Mavericks in 7.
What up, CJ? What up?
But yeah, man, it's just bro. It's the situation. This is what we live in. So
you think they even got a shot to get it to 6?
I mean, anything is possible. Somebody might get hurt. I mean, if things stay the way they are, they got a snowball's chance of fish grease of winning.
So you think Boston closes it out tonight?
Yeah. Structure versus freelance. LeBron, I love LeBron James, but you know what? I ain't the dude who gonna love LeBron. Look, get this. I had the pleasure of watching Kobe, Michael's whole career, Magic's whole career, Bird whole career, Kobe whole career, and I'm gonna watch LeBron's whole career.
Right.
I ain't got no time to be hating none of them dudes because guess what? When I'm stressed out, I can turn the TV on and relax. And I could root against, get this, I'm from Chicago. I could root against Jordan because me and Isaiah Thomas from the same neighborhood. I could cheer for Scottie Pippen. I could root against Kobe. I could cheer for LeBron. But I ain't never hated none of them because they were all great.
Yeah.
But this Boston Celtic team is a team versus a bunch of basketball players in Dallas. A team will be a bunch of basketball players. That's why I love the NCAA tournament. You can have all the best 18-year-olds in the history of the world. You give me that team with a bunch of sophomores, juniors, and seniors, we're going to beat y'all to death.
All right.
Shout out.
All right.
Shout
What up,
out,
RC, the greatest?
Shout out RC and the homie, the greatest, right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I think this goes to Game 6. I think Dallas finds a way to win tonight.
Okay.
Everybody stay healthy. No good.
I think. I picked Mavs in 7, and just kind of like CJ,
I picked them at 6. So I ain't.
You know what I mean?
You know.
Well, obviously they can't get it in 6.
No, I'm just saying that I picked the Mavs in 6 before they started, so I ain't gonna act like I didn't. I just want to make sure what I did. I want to be I'm big on accountability nowadays.
Hey, KG said anything's possible, right? So
well, that ain't possible, but
I'm gonna go with Dallas tonight. Force a Game 6. Make the Celtics sweat.
At least force a Game 6, man.
Make the Celtics sweat. Hey, H-Rap, I'm waiting for my Kyrie big game in Boston. Like, he has yet to have that. I'm waiting for him to disrupt the fans in one of these games.
It'll be sometime mid-November because they usually have a champions. They usually have a team that play in the finals play early in the season. They kill it, man. It's not. And he might have a great game, but I mean. Hey man,
they ain't gonna win.
Well,
I don't want to. I'm gonna tell you something good. I don't want to hear about no Kyrie having a 40-point game in a loss. I don't want to hear it.
But that's what you're gonna hear tonight.
I don't want to hear that.
Well, you know whose fault that's gonna be then. If Kyrie put up 40 and they lose, we know who to blame.
Man,
and it ain't the guy putting up 40.
Yeah,
my third favorite point guard in the world. That's who you blame, Jason Kidd.
Yeah, I think that's who you blame. I get why Luka Doncic should be on the carpet and will be on the carpet. But Jason Kidd, I gotta think that he's a better coach than what he's displayed in this series.
Mm-hmm. Hey, how about this? I thought about this today, guys. Did y'all ever think about this? One of the most racially charged cities in the United States of America, Boston. They have had 4 different black men win NBA champions.
NBA champion, man, listen.
Yeah.
And they love them niggas.
Gonna have another one if they pull it out tonight. Gonna have another one.
They gonna have 2.
Bill Russell, Casey Jones, Doc, and this guy.
And Missoula, yeah. That's crazy. I'm gonna give them flowers though, because I think what they've done, like defensively, is be able to keep the others for Dallas not being able to do much. I think that's where you see like them disrupting their offense. Luka can't be a facilitator like he can. Game 1 he only had like 1 assist or something like that. And that's not good. And that's not good because that's Dallas's offense. That's Luka still being able to score, also being able to rebound, but also being able to get, Derek Lively involved, PJ Washington and those guys, get those guys going, get the lob game going. They haven't been able to do any of that. And that's because Boston's playing some pretty great defense on them.
They're playing the Jordan rules. Go ahead, score 50, Mike, and then
and everybody else.
They've only cracked 100. In Game 4?
Yeah,
crazy.
So let me introduce the word of the month. The word of the month is dynastic, And I'm trying to. My question to you, H Rap, is: have the Boston Celtics? Let me use the word in a sentence. Have the Boston Celtics been playing dynastic?
People will say no because they haven't won a championship, but let's pay attention. Since Tatum and Brown come together, they've played LeBron in back-to-back conference finals. They've gone to the NBA finals. They've gone to the conference finals again, and then they went about for all intents and purposes they are
lost to another dynasty. Yeah,
they lost to another dynasty, and they come to avenge that. So I wouldn't say dynastic. You know what? I would give them I would give them, since you dynastic is the word. I'm gonna create a word of Detroit Piston-esque.
Okay.
The 80s Detroit Piston-esque.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if they win this one and win the next one, they will be a blueprint of the late Isaiah Thomas's Detroit Pistons.
Interesting. What up, Letitia? Interesting.
What up?
Interesting.
Okay, all right. Well, while we still in the NBA, let me say real quick, and H-Rap, be glad you're here for this, because you would have way more knowledge about this guy than me and Trey would. Rest in peace to the logo, Jerry West.
Yes, sir.
That was a tough one. Obviously, for obvious reasons, to the NBA. Obviously, me and Trey know more about him as a GM, and
I ain't that old.
Yeah,
I'm GM Jerry too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my apologies. You know, sometimes
trying to age that man.
I thought you may have seen him. You know what I'm saying, shucking and jiving.
Trying to age that man. Yeah.
I might have seen it. I didn't know what I was seeing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I saw Dr. J in the ABA, but I couldn't tell you. Oh man, he was roasting. I was just like, oh, that's Dr. J. He don't, and that was it.
Yeah.
I was fine. He was in the ABA. You know.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, definitely rest in peace. I mean, we know what he means to the league and what he has meant to the league. Teams he come into buildings and turn these teams into, if not champions, very good teams. I mean, I think there isn't enough to be said about what he did and with the Clippers. I get that didn't get the chip, but just from where they came from to where they are now, and kind of haven't, fell back down from, they didn't go back to being a sorry team after he left. He kind of put a nucleus in play, and now they're just kind of building on that. And I think that's maybe more remarkable than any of the championships. Not more remarkable than the championships, but certainly something worth being highlighted.
He dusted off Hubie Brown when people thought Hubie Brown was done with coaching. With the Grizzlies, some years ago, and when Jerry West was working with Memphis and decided, hey, I'm gonna bring this coach back, and then they did make like several different playoff appearances under Hubie Brown. So that's something to kind of point to as a success point for him also. But obviously, the building the championship teams with Golden State is the big highlight there as well. His work with the Lakers, obviously, with building those dynasties as well. So
I just thought of something. He is arguably the greatest front office guy in the history of the league. He's overtaken Red Auerbach because Red Auerbach owned the 60s.
Right.
He created the Celtic legacy, the Celtic aura, right? But Jerry was with the Lakers. He was with the Lakers, and then he created the whole Kareem, Magic, Cooper, Silk Wilkes, that dynasty in the 80s. And then he rebuilt it again with the Late Show.
Yeah.
He rebuilt it again with Shaq and Kobe. Then he rebuilt it again with Kobe and Gasol. Then he left and created the Grindhouse in Memphis. As you said, they won the championship. But then look,
he made them consistent.
Yeah. And he sent, everybody thought, oh man, he working for the Lakers. He sent Marc Gasol to the Lakers. He got his sorry brother back, and his brother was down there grinding it out. He got Zach Randolph down there. Then he go to Golden State, helped them win 3. Then he with the Clippers, and you never know if Kawhi and PG could have stayed healthy. he might have put another cherry
He
on
might.
that.
He damn sure might have. He damn sure might have.
Arguably the greatest front office guy in the history of the league, and it ain't even like a Bill Red Auerbach is a distant second.
Mm.
He the logo.
You might be onto something.
I get it. Yeah. Okay.
You may be onto something. Yeah, definitely. Big loss for the NBA and the West family, and again, condolences to the West family and all his friends and family and all that stuff. So
hey, he said something last year. He became the guy to me. He was like, man, all these dudes talking about they the dog. They got the dog. And he's like, I ain't had no dog in me. I was a wolf. I eat dogs. I was like, oh.
And I'm trying not to mess up the quote, but you reminded me of it, and I was trying to ignore it because I didn't know the exact quote. So JJ Redick had said something to the effect of playing with a bunch of
plumbers. Is that
plumbers?
Yeah.
And I was trying to remember Jerry West's clapback, but I'm gonna go look it up.
I didn't even know he clapped back. That's
he definitely
Jerry West didn't play, man. And guess who Jerry West said the best player he ever saw was? The Big O.
Nice. That's what's up. Hey, so I just got a couple NFL things, and H-Rap, I heard you bring up Trevor Lawrence earlier when you came on here. We were just talking about that. As far as the contract's concerned, $55 million a year, tied with Burrow. I think Burrow's getting $55 million a year as well. When you look at what he's done in these 3 years, one playoff win. Granted, it was one of the greatest comebacks in playoff history, but it's still one playoff win. No conference championship appearances, no Super Bowl appearances, and the team that he's on is somewhat average, really at best. They won the division, winning 9 games. That's not right. They won it by default. So, where do you stand on that?
And by the way, that shit ain't happening again.
See, here's the thing. I think first of all, I'm H-Rap, so I got to go racial. That's who I am. I'm sorry. Hey, John and Dolores, they were black members of the Black Panther Party, self-defense. It's inculcated into my system. But it's just awful strange that when the league goes 50% black, everybody starts talking about how quarterbacks need to earn their money. Who was talking about when Jason Goff was supposed to earn his money, or Carson Wentz and all those dudes? When nobody talking about earning then. And now that all these brothers coming up to get this big money, now everybody talking about earning. That's the issue. I think you're selling Trevor Lawrence short simply because this is his 4th year in the league. True indeed, right? There's no way to look around it. But he had a Riri as a coach his first year. Remember, they had the dude from Ohio State down there, Bone Dixon at the bottom. So he overcame that and became a solid. I'm not saying he $50 million. You know what? Correction. He is worth $50 million. You know why?
I had to be
worth what you can get paid. You know what I mean?
Market.
Yeah, this is what the market says he should be paid, and I just think it's nonsense. And I think he's unfairly judged because you're right. Look at what you said. He got one playoff win with one of the worst teams in the league. How was that supposed to? That wasn't supposed to happen.
Okay.
And I did it.
Okay.
I heard when I was in the green room, I heard Maestro say, "We don't need a quarterback to win the game in Pittsburgh. We just need you not to lose it." Trevor Lawrence on the Pittsburgh Steelers is a Super Bowl team. Because he don't hit wide open linebackers and DBs. I ain't seen him hit too many DBs in stride. So if you can hand it to Harris, you can hit Pinkett and that other receiver on the other side, Pittsburgh Steelers gonna beat you. So I'm not saying he's a world beater. I'm not saying we have to get out of this mentality of, he making $50 million. Let's not say $50 million because we get up and go to work every day. Let's say $50 million in accordance to what his co-workers are making.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. No, and I kind of, because I was of the conversation that I don't want to really pay him that kind of money, but like when you think about like a Justin Herbert, I mean, quite frankly,
better than him.
honestly, I like Justin Herbert better. But what I'll say is that Justin Herbert maybe maybe 2 games that he's won in the playoffs.
He hasn't won any games in the playoffs.
Right, exactly. Okay, yeah, right. Thank you.
The one game he played was the game he blew to Trevor Lawrence.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
He got the same amount of money that a dude with a torn Achilles. He got the same type of money that a dude with a torn Achilles who's 36 years old he got the same amount of playoff wins as Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He worth it.
So I kind of had to back off of it. Again, I don't like it for what it means for Pittsburgh. But or what it could mean, let me say, what it could mean.
Could mean, yeah.
Right.
The salary cap going up. They just signed a Netflix deal. They got a YouTube deal. They got a Prime deal. CB. These dudes print money. See, we got to get out of this mentality of.
I acknowledge that we got that in our mental minds. We got to reset what the market is.
Because
backup quarterbacks is going to start making $25 to $30 million.
There it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
Yeah. The Christian Kirk contract from a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You know, that's how Debo kind of got his money too. I think he came right after Christian Kirk got that deal and stuff. So yeah, receivers are getting, the $20 million deals and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, Justin Jefferson deserves that. I mean, he's the best in the league. He deserved that. Jamar Chase gonna get his, I would imagine, if not sometime this year, then definitely next offseason.
Yeah, for sure.
You can put $240 million in escrow for one employee. How much money you make? That's like saying, hey man, I'm sick of this. I don't know if I can afford to get my grass cut for $300 a week anymore. You were paying $300 a week? Yeah. How much do you make, bro?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Nah. Respect.
Go
ahead. I was gonna say points. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna ask the both of you if you guys had seen the Terrell Lewis video.
No.
where he's running from the escort.
No. Terrell Lewis?
Yes, the linebacker with Philly. I think he plays for the Eagles.
He was in jail the other night.
Okay.
Oh man, you got to go watch. You got to see that. You saw it, A-Trap?
I didn't see it, but I know he went to jail the other night for domestic battery and all that stuff.
I didn't know he went to jail. Oh snap!
I think he got arrested for that.
Really?
The issue the reason why I was having, I haven't heard of this. That just to be clear.
Yeah.
But wasn't there somebody recently, a teenager named Terrell Lewis, who was recently shot and killed by police officers recently?
I think it was.
That sounds familiar.
It's not the same. It's not the same guy. Clearly,
it's not the same guy.
Yeah, this is a teenager. This is a teenager.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't put it together.
Gotcha.
That's why I was getting thrown off.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's why I was getting. And rest in peace to that kid.
Yeah, rest in peace to him. Terrell Lewis. He's a linebacker with the Eagles. He got caught on, and I don't know who shot the video, but he's in the hotel room with an escort. And I guess the headline is that he didn't want to pay the escort, so he ran out the hotel room, and the escort, butt naked, is running out the hotel room, chasing him down the hall.
Send that to me.
I'll tag you in it.
Yeah, send that to me.
That's live.
The only really important thing that we gotta touch on before we get out of here is the fight Saturday night, Devin Haney against Frank Martin. Devin Haney, Javante Davis. And I'm literally looking at my notes as I wrote Devin Haney. But Javante Davis beats Frank Martin, knocks him out in the 8th round, deadly uppercut, and then Slim wobbled, and then he got caught with that last one to kind of seal the deal. Look, not to do too much ass kissing, but he got to be. I'm not gonna come out here and say he's the best pound for pound fighter. I don't believe that to be the case.
Are you saying right now, or
right now? I do not believe Javante Davis is the best pound for pound fighter in boxing. Okay. But is he the most? But we'd be lying if he said that this shit ain't as exciting than a motherfucker every time he come out and fight. This shit is exciting.
Box office.
For me, like the way he fills them out the 4 rounds like a Mayweather would do, but then does have the punching power to knock you the fuck out is truly something different than we've seen in a while. And it's an exciting thing to watch. Frank Martin he did not fight a terrible fight. Yeah, right. A lot of people were saying that, but I was having this argument this morning. Somebody was telling me that by the time Gervonta had actually knocked out Frank Martin, that they had him up. They had Gervonta up. They had Gervonta up, is what I was saying. It was somebody told me. Now I wasn't paying that close attention when the actual, all the scorecards actually went up. But I know that Gervonta Davis didn't figure it out until about the 5th round. Like he clicked about the 5th round. I think the second that I think it was the end of the 4th when they rung the bell and Frank Martin kind of swolled up on him at the end of the round, and Gervonta went back to his corner, did whatever, and then I believe in that 5th round he did something that made Frank Martin flinch, almost symbolic to how Frank Martin flinched in the presser. And he kind of smiled like, "Oh, I got this nigga. I already know how this is about to go down." So he kept, and then you heard the announcer saying, "You better stop getting caught in the corner. You better stop getting caught in the corner. You better get." And it got to the point where he caught him in the corner, and Tank was leading. Like, I know once I get you in the corner, I can wail on you. Mm-hmm. And that was his only mistake, is that he couldn't, he kept pulling off magic getting out of the corners in earlier rounds, but I still think that was Gervonta filling him out. But his only flaw was that he kept wanting to fall. Like, you can't keep letting nobody, and this ain't boxing, this is real nigga shit. You can't let nobody keep walking you down in no fight. Like, you crazy? You can't keep letting nobody walk you down in no fight. And ultimately for me, that's what happened. Like, as good as he was at getting out of jams, and like he had tried to cut the ring, but he'll slip out, and he was doing some athletic, which is what they was calling him going into the fight. He was doing some real athletic shit that was working up until it wasn't. But he fought a hell of a fight, Frank Martin. But that power, and once he figured out I just need to get him there and keep him there. It was a wrap. Shout out to Gervonta Davis, because that boy there, that is a hell of that box office. If we pound for pound best boxer, no, but the most exciting boxer, I think it's no question.
It's funny you bring that up, because I was actually going to take it a step further and ask the question, because he's what 29-0, and he's young. Like, he's young. Like, he could do 25. This. 25, 25, 26. Like, he could do this a good 10 more years, legit, right? Mm-hmm. He got the chance to be the greatest boxer.
I'm not, and the reason why I'm not going to, I'm not
disrespecting the greats. I'm not. That's not me doing that. But I
just can't go there yet, because when we talk about competition, Frank Martin is a good fighter, but he's not a name. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people. Leo Santa Cruz was probably H-Rap, what would you say his toughest fight was been? And I'll tell you mine. I feel like it was this one right here.
I think it was. No. I can't think of this dude's name. He was a Mexican cat. He had the green joints. I can't think of his name. He hung in there with him the whole fight. And Tank just outpointed him. I can't think of his name right now. I can see his face. He was
Garcia. Not Garcia.
Is it Garcia?
No, I don't think it was, because
not Alex Garcia. Not the dude knocked out.
Okay.
He fought like a year, maybe 18 months ago.
Okay.
And dude hung in there with him. I cannot think of his name. It might have been Garcia. And I hate to sound so racial, but
yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. We're cool with it.
We've been racial on here.
We love all people, but stereotypes are a thing. Stereotypes are a thing in this world. We're not going to pretend like they don't exist. Except for when you're talking about me. But I'll say this again. This dude is clearly the most exciting boxer. I won't go as far as to say, trajectory, could he be? Sure. But he's gonna have to fight.
And that's what I'm talking
years
about.
old.
I'm just talking trajectory.
He's gonna have to fight some big. He's gonna have to fight some big dogs, and that's just and in order to fight big dogs for him, he's gonna have to move up. Like like point blank period. No matter how you feel about Devin Haney after that loss, he's gonna have to see Devin Haney at some point. Say what you want about Shakur Stevenson, even though I believe that he could beat Shakur Stevenson, he's gonna have to see Shakur Stevenson. Like these are the type of things that you're gonna have to put on your resume to say. If you're going to have a conversation about the greatest, you can't have a conversation about the greatest and say he never fought nobody. And I think I get people that's about to say Floyd Mayweather.
I'm not saying that,
but people will. But trust me, people will say.
Folks will say it.
Floyd Mayweather never fought nobody. For me, that's a little bit different. Because he just dominated everybody.
I disagree with that. I hate when I hear people say Floyd never fought anybody. What it is when Floyd fought everybody, he just made them look horrible.
Yeah.
Because
people forget. Ricky Hatton was hot when he fought Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton was hot.
Hey, let me tell you something. When I was working at the Washington Post company at that period, this dude named Aaron walked up to me. I'll never forget in the office. He named the next 5 Floyd Mayweather fights. He said, "You got to beat this dude. You got to beat Ricky Hatton." He walked all of those dudes down. And that dude came back to me and said, "But he ain't fought this dude." I said, "You just named 5 guys.
Right?
He whooped all 5 of them. Don't move the goalposts. You know."
And I'm sorry.
He fought Zab. He fought Zab that one fight, and Zab almost got him.
And rest in peace, Felix Trinidad. Yeah.
Nice.
So so I do think that Gervonta Davis is going to have to see Devin Haney. I found so much joy in and let's be clear, I don't think Devin Haney would beat him, but like I said, they got to fight. But I found so much joy in Floyd Mayweather leaking that sparring video of Devin Haney and Tank Davis. I found so much joy on it because now it feels like that should be the starting component to get this ball rolling on this fight. Because I am so sick of people. I am so sick of the politics of boxing where people don't want to fight these people because I'm not saying that the difference between 8 and 10 pounds don't matter in a boxing match. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that this is the clash. Boxing is supposed to be the clash of the titans.
Yeah.
And if you a Titan, then you gotta oversee this 8-pound difference, this 8-pound deficiency.
8 pounds is a lot.
Yeah. It is. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying that
Tank Davis about this tall.
Yeah, he's small.
Your wife.
Yeah, he's small.
Small. I saw him in person at the DMV. A-Trap. He's short.
He's small.
Yeah.
He's not heavy. Like he would. Yeah, like I am 230 right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he'd knock me out, but he had to hit me a couple times. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Difference in boxing and fighting. He might not get. There's no rep to grab you up off of.
Yeah. I'm gonna stab him. So. I'm not fighting no motherfucker with hands like that.
Pound for pound, I would give it to Bud Crawford.
It's Bud Crawford, yeah. It's Bud Crawford.
And what I would do is say this. The transition with Bud Crawford and Tank is kind of like what we saw happen with Mayweather Jr. and Roy Jones Jr.
Break that down.
Roy Jones was at the end of his career as Pretty Boy was coming up. Bud is at the end. Bud 36, 37 years old, and 29-year-old Tank is coming up. So I think the other 2 boxers that you named, he definitely has to fight them and to combat your issue with boxing, which is everybody in the history of the sweet sciences issue to politics. To his credit, Tank will fight you if you talk enough trash. Tank will fight you.
Will fight you. Yeah.
So him and Bud are debunking that, and they are being allowed to debunk that, and that's the beauty in it. Boxing is making a tremendous comeback. People are getting in the ring and they're fighting again. Shout out to Dana White and MMA because they put an end to that. We naturally love boxing, but you notice we don't talk about as much MMA anymore.
Oh, because I ain't gonna lie to you.
I haven't followed MMA a lot.
I've never been a fan. I've never been a fan. Yeah, I've never been a fan.
Followed it at all.
I've never been a fan.
I'm just happy that Tank can talk a good game, pre-fight, and all that stuff. But one guy that was trying to talk a good game and
got his goddamn tooth knocked out.
Got his tooth knocked out. Shout out Adrian Broner.
He needs
and he can go ahead and stop. And he can go exactly. And he can go ahead and stop. And I'm sure he'll still get fights. But he'll still get fights because he know how to talk that shit. But
when
we're talking about the skill, he should just go ahead and stop.
He could sell a fight for sure.
Yeah.
He better stop fighting his girlfriend or something.
Yikes.
Yikes.
On that note. On that note.
Let's wrap it up, man.
Hey, Trap, let the people know where they can find you, man.
Now you can find me on the End of the Bench Media on YouTube, ThaendofDabench Media. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I speak about community empowerment and things that we can do as a community to empower ourselves. We are under attack. We are in the midst of a war. And we don't want, our community does not want to admit that. So until we come together, and tomorrow's going to be a very important show. If you tune in, I think you'll get information that you truly need. I'm going to talk about what hate has created in this country. People think of hate as dogs being sicked on you and discrimination. No, hate is what we talked about earlier. When we have a media base that will create a narrative around someone, and they will have some people not liking this young lady. She hasn't done anything, and they have some people liking her because then they'll be accused of being racially motivated. So that's what hate is. And then I'm gonna talk about that. And I'm gonna talk about a few other things and how we need to build a structure and create a structure so your children see. We're old. Let's just, for all intents and purposes, we've lived. We're just riding out the wave, but we need to start until the Black community starts living for our great grandchildren. We will continue to suffer. Not our grandchildren, our great grandchildren.
Respect.
Man, this was dope, man. Powerful voice, H-Rap for certain, man. You always bring it every time you come on the platform, or like you did when you called us, a few years ago. You always bring it, man. So I appreciate you, man, and we definitely gotta do this again. Maybe during the NFL season.
Anytime you do something on a Monday evening, as long as I'm on Tuesday and I go to Bible study after my show, I'm wide open Wednesday, and I record my Rap with H-Rap show. I talk to people from the community, have them tell their stories. Believe it or not, Maestro is living proof that me and Maestro had never had a conversation, and me and him had about 12, 13 things that we had in common in life. Yeah, we have more Black people. We have more in common in life. Look, I have never even visited DMV. We have more things in common. Never had a conversation. And people who support me, they was like, "Hey, how long you've known him?" I was like, "Well, I've known him for about 6 to 8 years, but that's our first conversation." They was like, "Really?" So I'm just trying to bridge the gap between the people in this community, whether you border to border, coast to coast, and let people know your life is beautiful. If you tell the story, you will have someone connect. I'm also in the midst of writing a wonderful TV show with my man Steve Lott and Big Mo Maurice Nesbitt. It's going to be a monster. This is going to be one of the greatest TV shows in the history of the world.
So, that's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out to everybody in the chats, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, RC and Maurice. I see y'all. I see everybody else.
That's Mo, man. Maurice is Big Mo.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep. That's what's up. Hey, folks, continue to follow us on social media. Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast, on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. You can follow us on the Twitch channel, YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel, Facebook page, click the like button. If you got questions, comments, hit us up on the email.
Y'all on fan base?
No,
we will be. I'm gonna talk to you. We're gonna talk offline.
We'll talk offline. We'll talk offline. Barbershop Sports Talk 1@gmail.com is the email address to hit us up if you got questions, comments. That's it for the show, everybody. Love, peace, and happiness to everybody out there. And as always, folks, mind your damn business.
Drink some water.
Oh yeah, we got him. Trey Frazier and Maestro Styles, we got one. Right back like we left something. We We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey sharp with the blade, you know we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, you know styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called The Barbershop.